Sheriff, we got a lot to talk about.
I am not an animal!
Damn, I'm thirsty. I want a beer. What about you? You want a beer?
The ice is gonna break! I am not a human being! I am an animal!
And I'm sorry you can't do this. I really am, because I wouldn't have to fucking sit here and watch you fumble around and fuck it up.
I am Shiva, the god of death.
Shut up and sit down, you big bald fuck.
You gonna eat your cornbread?
But for me, it was Tuesday.
And you have meddled with the primal forces of nature. And you will atone.
All right. Well, welcome, one and all in one, to another edition of the 3 for 3 podcast. I'm your host this week, Samuel. I almost said Jay because people keep telling me my middle name starts with a J, even though it's Levi. Holler, Givi, holler. I'm joined today by two tender lovers of my ears, Sir Jackson Workman and Sir Matthew Patterson. How are y'all doing today?
We're in the mood for love, so we're gonna be tender when we give you head.
Please have mercy on me, though. I haven't had it
mercy on my head.
Oh, but yeah.
How many monkeys does it take to give head around here? Jesus Christ.
Hey, I know all three of us are triggered by being stuck in a black box for long periods of time. So,
so is Leo in one battle after another.
Oh, fuck yeah.
You gotta get one of your best jokes in before the season's over.
Yeah.
Well, we got 3 musicals this week. To a degree, not a musical, but one of them not. But it's a musical for me, and y'all understand why in a little bit, because I have a little ditty to perform for y'all.
Are you gonna do a 10?
No ditty involved.
Are you gonna do one of Robert Duvall's covers, but do it in Japanese?
Yo, I wish I had the wherewithal to think of that. I would have actually translated that and sang it. But speaking of Robert Duvall, we are starting with Sir Patterson's pick, Tender Mercies. What a beautiful film. Take it away.
Well, guys, this movie really, I was not wanting to pick this for some reason.
In honor.
I was kind of just like, well, this is the only one that's on my list that's been on there since like Hoosiers that I haven't picked, and it's on the only thing that was on something. And man, was I kind of blown away in a kind of surprising way. The plot of the movie: Robert Duvall plays Max Sledge, which is a great name.
I'm not gonna grab my cowboy hat, but I want to put it on.
A washed up alcoholic country singer who moves to a podunk town, gets a job at a gas station, and damn it if he doesn't fall in love with Tess Harper, who plays the character of
Rosalie.
Rosalie, that's what I thought it was. I just had to make sure. And everything's going well. You know, you're getting along with her son, Sonny, played by fucking Alan goddamn Hubbard, who kills it. Oh my God, great child actor. And everything's going good until a fuckhead reporter, of course it's Paul Gleason, comes along being like, hey, I'm writing about your ex-wife, who we find out pretty much steals all his songs and sings them, which is the point, but you know, it's terrible.
And he's like, alimony somehow.
Yeah. And he's like, yo, dude, I'm just trying to be anonymous over here and chill and get my life back together and not be a fucking drunk. Too bad for you, pal. We're going to post that fucking article and everyone in town is going to find out that you used to be a fucking famous ass motherfucker.
Including the flower guy from Twin Peaks.
Yep. That was one of the first things I was going to talk about. Crystal clear eyeballs.
I swear. And so you got this young band that comes up and wants to sing your songs, and eventually they break you down to the point where, you know what? Fuck it. I'm going to start singing with them. And honestly, I'm going to kind of protect you from the terrible people that are in the music industry as well. Which
Not
I thought
the
was
first time we'll hear about the terrible people in the music industry today.
Nope. And he's as he's getting his life back together, he also gets to know his estranged daughter, who finds out about him because of the article, played by the magnificent Ellen Barkin, who plays
Young ass
Sue-Ann.
on Barkin.
And
Second appearance of young ass Ellen Barkin after
Yeah.
Daniel.
yep. And everything's going well up until life wants to fuck you in the ass. And Ellen Barkin, your long estranged daughter who's getting back into your life, dies in a car crash, which catapults you back into your ex-wife's house, watching her crash the fuck out on her goddamn bed.
While Wilford Brimley holds her down severely over like
Diabetes, baby.
Yep.
Diabetes.
But and honestly, you're just really nice to her. And you're kind of just left at the end with, hey, why did she die and I lived when I could have just been the one to fucking, die years ago. And yeah, it's a fucking sad movie. I don't think I'm missing anything other than the songs are great, sung by Robert Duvall and low-key written by Robert Duvall. Uh, Horton Foote, the playwright who wrote this movie, was very much trying to get out of a rut as far as writing goes and wanted to bring the theater to the movies. And I think I could see that. Very deep movie. Um, Very sad. Robert Duvall kills it. I was kind of worried I was going to be bored during this whole thing, but I was really caught off guard by how well shot it was and just I mean, I know it's like cliche because of the title, but the tenderness of the movie is very tender movie, like especially at the end of the
there's
movie.
a
It's just like
simpleness that is so rich and has so much like depth to each of it. Like tender is a great word to put it.
and I fucking loved this shit. Um, I'm trying to think if I had anything else to say other than just some backstory. Apparently, Robert Duvall and homeboy Bruce Bedford did not get involved or not get along at all, to the point where he cast Wilford Brimley only because he wanted to have a friend on set, which I thought was kind of funny because I was like, I did not imagine them being friends like that to the point where he was like,
He and Wilford Brimley didn't get along either.
yeah, I'm not sure. I'm not surprised. And it's just like, damn, this movie was so good. How are you guys like? What was the clash? Because like, and
Well,
apparently,
I was reading a lot about that, so I can get into that in a minute. But
hell yeah, because I saw the overview of it and I was like, hmm. But apparently this movie, Bruce Bedford really wanted to make like a Hollywood movie. They gave it a good modest budget, and then the studio didn't really like it, the Christianity and all that stuff, so they just kind of didn't advertise it and it kind of tanked because of that. But its audience has been found in a way. I wouldn't call it a cult classic by any means, but it's like still out there. But yeah, that's what I have to say on it. I'm kind of glad I picked it because I don't think I ever would have watched this movie. Like this one of those, I don't think I would have watched it if we hadn't.
I had never heard of it before you sent in the text, and I was like, "What an interesting title."
Yeah, I mean, yeah. So I'll let you guys take it away.
As we see with this film, and just in general with a lot of the picks we've had on this show, great art requires great anger and great sacrifice. And as someone who has the period of time where we all grew up actively detested country music, and then the older I get, I listen to everything pre my birth, and it just gets better and more like soulful and more folky in aspects and more just sheer just emotion displayed. I was not expecting to like this movie so much. I didn't even know it was about a country singer at all. Otherwise, I mean, I'm glad I picked my pick, but I probably would have let this be the musical element of this episode had I known. But I'm just so happy to have just fallen in love with this movie. It is dry as fuck looking, and that's like one of the best parts about it. Like, there's no doubt about they're in Texas and they're living that Texas life. I mean, his ex-wife's name is Dixie, and like there's just so much personality within this, and it's every character's fleshed out, every character has roots. And I thank you for bringing up the stepson, because when he says to that kid, I do like my stepdad, like I had a longest yard moment that you had, Jackson, where I was stood up and I was like, yes, this is so good and I am so happy. And then it gets so sad, and then it kind of just ends. But that's kind of the point, I think, is he goes back to some simplicity in his own life, and he ponders these things, and he doesn't get answers to his prayers, and a lot of people don't. and it just
I don't know. I kind of wasn't sure because I know it's kind of open ended and it's meant to be like your own thing. And I'll let Jackson also hop in here. But I kind of thought like his purpose in life was to be a father to that boy.
to throw the
That's,
pigskin with them.
that was the, yeah. And that was kind of like the reason why he's alive is for that, you know.
Exactly.
So that was my thought. I don't
No,
know.
I 100% agree with you on that.
Yeah. Yeah, so this was a movie that I'd always wanted to see, and my first Bruce Beresford movie. I still haven't seen Driving Miss Daisy or any of his
I
other
haven't seen
movies.
it either. The only one I've seen is
Um,
Mr. Church,
I
unfortunately.
remember when that I remember when that came out, but I never saw it.
I just know
But
that poster of Eddie Murphy, like with
Yeah,
the
yeah.
fucking
yeah.
With the like
I
the
hat on.
bow and the hat.
Mhm.
Yeah.
So it was cool finally seeing a movie from him, and yeah, I figured I would like this movie, you know, because I'd heard good things about it. I'd always heard it was a good movie, but just like on its surface, like just the premise and all that, I kind of figured like, all right, this will be a good movie, but I doubt it'll be like a very great movie, you know, like I'll enjoy it, you know. And then my God, it didn't take long, man. I was like, just like you guys said, I was like really caught off guard. I was like, whoa, like this is amazing. What the fuck? Like this is making me feel shit. And by the time it was over, I mean, fucking hell, man. This is one of the, I mean, I have to think about it some more. I don't know if this cracks my new top 10 favorites on the podcast, but maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, but it's fucking close. I mean, like, if it doesn't, it's right outside of it. This was beautiful. I
Hmm.
mean, just beautiful. Every fucking bit of it, it was so, the direction was so understated and so perfect, and everything in the movie felt so authentic. Robert Duvall is one of the greatest actors and film legends of all time. He has given so many iconic performances. I truly think this may be his best performance that I've ever seen.
I absolutely love the line where he's like, "You look," or she's like, "You look different than the last photo I saw." And he's like, "Only God knows when the last picture of me was taken."
Yeah, like
It's just or mm, mm.
every scene in this movie that he is in, he just ceases to be an actor. He is that person. Every goddamn frame of the movie, even if he's not saying anything, I 100% believed him as that character. I did not. I've never seen him do. It kind of reminded me of what you said about Katharine Hepburn, The Lion and Winter Sam, where it's like he's unrecognizable not because he looks different, but because he immerses himself in the part so much. I've never heard him do that accent. I've never seen him play a character like this. I didn't feel like I was watching Robert Duvall. I felt like I was watching this character. He was astonishing in it. And Tess Harper also was, I 100% believed her as that character. This kind of changed the way I saw her. Because every other thing I've seen her in, it's been way later in her career. And this was her film debut. Like Bruce Beresford like discovered her at an open casting call. And he picked
A
her
stroke of
specific.
genius, or a
Yeah,
flash of genius, as we call it on this podcast.
exactly. Greg Kinnear, baby. But he picked her because
Someone's stroking their genius.
but he picked her because um he didn't want like a traditional looking actress. He said like there was a quality to her like she was beautiful but in like a low key like salt of the earth kind of way, you know? And she was, and it's just kind of
Weirdly,
like
like Sissy Spacek in a straight story almost.
yeah, like a lot like that, you know, like that's the vibe that they're going for here. And also, so those are just like my basic thoughts about the movie itself. Just absolutely fucking beautiful, every fucking second of it. But the to touch on what you said, Matt, I was reading a lot about the production of this, and it was very, very fascinating. Like, yeah, the first of all, Bruce Beresford, I gotta give him a lot of credit. He fucking just every aspect of this film he was so meticulous about it and so specific and just every part of there's a reason every part of this is so well crafted. It's because he made it that way. And it like from the lighting, the kind of lighting they were using to the cinematography to the setting because Horton Foote said he originally did not imagine the movie being set in such a kind of desolate, out of the way place. But Bruce Beresford was like, nope, I'm gonna pick this specific location to film it in because that's where it's got to be. The character's loneliness has to be matched by the environment. You know, it contributes to that feeling of isolation and everything. And just everything down to the last detail, he very meticulously like planned out and everything. And so that's one of the reasons why I think the film worked so well, and that's why he and Robert Duvall didn't get along because Robert Duvall preferred like not being so meticulous. He preferred like having a little bit more freedom, and that's why they fought. But and it's funny because, like you said, the studio had absolutely zero confidence in this movie. They thought it was a dud. They like only released it in 3 screens when it first came out.
That's
Like,
wild.
and yeah, like they had no confidence in it whatsoever. And but one of the people who saw it in one of those 3 theaters was motherfucking Willie Nelson. And when he saw it, he was like, "Fuck, this is an amazing movie. Like this captures the country music scene so perfectly." He's like, "I want to help you promote this movie." And the studio executives were like, "We're good. Like, how the hell are you going to help us promote this?" And Robert Duvall said, like, it was at that moment that I knew these executives had absolutely no familiarity with the country scene or anything like that.
Yeah,
He's like,
it's
"What do
a
you mean you don't know how he can help you promote this? Are you fucking stupid?" But yeah, they just didn't think it
even
would
in
end up.
Nashville, I feel like this kind of stuff would just slap to
Yeah,
the.
and that's the
Apparently
thing.
Robert Duvall was almost in Nashville
Oh
and he
wow.
couldn't because of scheduling conflicts.
Oh, wow.
Then I'm like,
That
huh.
makes sense. I can see him being in that though. But and speaking of it, this makes me appreciate his role in Crazy Heart so much more because basically that's him taking
Same.
on the mentor role and
Yeah.
to Jeff Bridges' character, who's basically him in this movie.
Thank you for bringing that movie
Um,
up. That's an underrated fucking movie.
Extremely underrated movie. I love Scott Cooper. I'm so
I've only
excited
seen
for
that
the movie.
once, and it was when it came out, and I did not know what the fuck I was watching because I was too young to understand like the seriousness of everything, and I was just like,
Yeah.
what's going on in this? I need to
Yeah.
see it again, honestly.
But I appreciate I know why Scott Cooper cast him in that movie now because it was an homage to this clearly. But yeah, and that's another thing I wanted to touch on, the authenticity of the town, like the authenticity of just we're all from, North Carolina, we're all from the South. Like I just there were just little things that I noticed I'm like that you don't always see in movies. It felt very authentic, like down to the little interactions, like that part where they're at the church and he's like, "When were you baptized?" "I haven't been baptized yet." And he goes, "Well, I guess we'll just have to work on you then." I don't know, just that little line deliver.
The
I'm like,
baptism scene too is just fucking.
yeah, yeah, and just the little interactions that they had. I was like,
Somebody was
that's
pissing in that water.
said what?
I said somebody was pissing in that water.
Hell yeah.
Wasn't Robert Duvall. That's only him like 20 years later.
It's
Yeah.
it went from a baptism into a golden shower.
But
It's
what was I
everything the
gonna
church is
say?
against.
Oh,
I'm just
But
talking
but
about
then
moral
but then
pissing on
but
people.
Matt, it's it's funny though because like they had no confidence in it. They were ready to just abandon the thing. But then against all odds, what happened? It got nominated for a shit ton of Oscars against all odds. It was nominated for Best Picture, Best Act. It won. Robert Duvall won for this movie.
I did
So
not know. That's fucking hilarious because, like, I swear to God, I was reading some of the stuff and I did not get to the Oscar stuff.
yeah, so Robert Duvall won for this movie, which is the only reason I even knew about it because I knew he won for this movie, and it won Best Screenplay. So it
oh
picked
Wow,
up,
yeah.
that's worth it. Yeah.
yeah, yeah, it picked up a couple of things and was nominated for Best Picture, Best Director, all kinds of other stuff. It should have fucking won Best Cinematography, in my opinion. I don't know what beat it, but
What year is
fuck
it?
me.
Let me look it up.
75
75.
1983.
or
Oh,
83.
83. Okay.
83.
Yep.
Damn. I don't know why I thought this was 75.
Um, but it has that feel kind of an old school 70s-ish movie.
Yeah.
But but yeah, no, it the cinematography in this was so beautiful. Every scene. That scene where he's talking, they're in the vegetable
Gandhi.
garden and he's talking about Gandhi won.
Yep. For
Yeah.
I haven't
cinematography.
seen that. Well, that's 82 though. It would have been the year after that.
It's the 84th Oscars.
Ah, fuck. I hate that. Fanny and Alexander,
Oh, interesting.
which I
I
have
haven't
not
seen that
seen.
one. Can't say. But
Nope.
but yeah, this
Mhm.
cinematography in this is beautiful. I just think that scene in the vegetable garden where he's talking about I don't trust happiness and I never have, which first of all was such a beautiful
Hard
goddamn
fucking
scene.
line.
But then the way it was shot with that long take with everything in the background. And again, the executives did not get that scene. They were telling them like, you got to put some close-ups in here. Come on, what are you doing? And they were like, no,
Fucking
this is
morons.
how we're doing it. Go fuck yourselves, basically. And I'm glad they put their feet down because that was how it needed to be. But yeah, this movie was absolutely beautiful. Just every fucking second of it. And I think both of you said it. That kid was so fucking good too, like for a
Mhm.
child actor.
Every time he was on screen, I was like, why didn't you do more? And I don't know
Right.
why.
Apparently he's a music teacher now.
Oh, that's
Huh.
awesome.
Like he still plays the guitar and everything. He has like Robert Duvall gave him a guitar and he still has it to this day. So
Hell
That's
yeah.
cool.
Like
yeah.
Yeah.
every down to the last like extra, there's just realistic depictions of people who are just living simple, normal lives that what they do is important to themselves and what they do is important to their communities. But nobody in this fucking movie is changing the world. And so that's what I love how like you can just sink yourself to like that kind of existence to a degree. And his battling with like his daughter confused like you attacked my mama said you tried to kill her once and you're like I did, and then you got cut to like what stopped him from drinking, and I think just this kindness that she showed him when and she laid down the law, and at least from a country perspective you respect that kind of stuff. And so I feel like he had such honorable just like morals intentions, and he knows that he fucked up and was in a place that he was not a good person and everything, and he tried to make amends for that. And so like no, I was so upset when the daughter was like, no, I never saw those letters you wrote, and like him setting up that scene even earlier where he goes to see his daughter and you think he's gonna leave, then he gives him the like piece of music and then goes back in to see his daughter. It was like there's so much interesting like stuff with like his motivations and discovering that as an audience member. So
And can I just tell you, I think maybe my favorite scene in the movie that just wrecked me the most was that scene after his daughter leaves and she's like, I remember you used to sing me that song, and he's like, I don't remember that. And then right after she leaves, he starts singing the goddamn song.
love,
Yeah, I was like, fuck, that
beautiful
killed me.
fucking song.
That killed me. I was like, why didn't you? And then it's even sadder because that's the last time he sees her. I mean, before she dies in the car accident. So I'm like, why
Coming
didn't you
in
just
and
stick it
giving
to
her a
her?
$100 check and then only getting $25 must make her
Yeah.
feel like worse too.
Yeah. I mean, and it
So,
sucks because Tess Harper, she tried so hard to like, she's like, you can stay here if you want. And, she tried so hard to get her out of that situation because she saw where it was going. But yeah, it's extremely, extremely tragic and fucking sad as shit. I remember as soon as, he got the phone call and he turned off the radio, I was like, God damn it, she's dead, isn't she? And then sure enough, yeah, I was like,
sitting on the
fuck.
porch, just looking out into the vast openness of the world and not
There's
knowing
Yeah.
like,
why.
I was gonna say, there's no wasted space in this movie either. Despite the amount of space in it, there's no wasted space.
And
It's
Yeah.
like,
him not because he's so shocked keep missing the town that it happened in, so like he can't even like rush and leave and go there is also just like fuck.
Yeah. The whole thing is just like, and like you said, yeah, like every scene has a purpose. Even the smallest, like quietest scenes have a purpose to it? And just yeah, the whole thing was so beautiful and just everything. And Sam, it's funny you said that earlier because like there's so many things and this is one of them, like country music. We're from that place and that generation that like we feel like we have to hate everything that like our southern roots and all that like country music and NASCAR and shit like that. I've always been that way. I'm like I refuse to listen to any of that. It's fucking stupid. And then it's funny because like I hate country music in real life for the most part. But, in a movie like this, they make me interested in it. It's like it's kind of the same thing with sports movies. I hate sports in real life, but I love a good sports movie. You know what I'm saying? There's something about movies that like it makes it make sense to you in a way. It presents it to you in a way where you can kind of get behind it. And that's what this definitely did. And certain other movies, like Crazy Heart and other movies, have done for country music, where it's like, I like it here. I would never listen to it on my own, but I really like it in this movie. You know, they're making me understand it better. And, you know, that's a cool thing I like is that movies can sometimes do that for you.
No, it was literally I put it on last night right before Stuart went to bed, and in the middle of Dixie's first song, when he's in the audience and he gets up and leaves, Stuart looked over and was like, "Who picked this?" And I said, "Matt." And she was like, "Well, he picked a fucking banger." And I was like, "Yes, he did. Yes, he
Hey,
did."
so we got approval from everybody.
Yeah.
Yeah, Matt, I gotta say, man, this is one of your best like all-time picks. This is really just fucking I really was so taken off guard by how beautiful this movie was. Like I said, I thought I would like it. I didn't think it would be like one of my absolute favorite things I've ever seen on the show. I mean,
I was kind of worried I was gonna be like bored, like it was gonna be like a snooze fest, and I was like, thank God it's not.
On paper, it would read that way, I feel like. But what they do
Even
is
the
they just
pictures, like all the stills I saw were like kind of bland, it seemed, and I was like,
and this
shit.
is not that they're the same in any way, but like this has that look and is really gripping and interesting. Oklahoma Crude looked badass as fuck with the poster and all the stills, and it ended up being
boring as shit.
boring as shit. So it's just
Yeah.
funny that
That
switched.
switch. Yeah.
Yeah.
So
But yeah, I'm definitely glad I picked it too, because this was like not expected, but I'm glad that it worked out well.
I also just love the story that I read, for Horton Foote when he won the Oscar for Best Screenplay, because he also won for To Kill a Mockingbird like 20 years before this.
I still need to see that.
You've never,
That's a
oh,
sin against cinema that I have not
It
witnessed.
is.
that's a great, great, great move. Obviously, no shit, but
Yeah.
but yeah. So when he won for To Kill a Mockingbird, he was so sure he wasn't going to win for that. He didn't even show up to the ceremony, and then he did. And so this time he was like, "God, I'm going to be there." Like he was absolutely adamant, like I'm going to be at the fucking ceremony this time. And then he won again. I just thought that was really funny. He's like, "God damn it, I'm going to get it this time." But yeah, fantastic, and also just fucking I can't say enough about Tess Harper either. She really just this really did change the way I saw her. The fact that she wasn't nominated for this is a crime, in my opinion. She really was
We didn't really talk
outstanding.
about Betty Buckley either. Betty
And Betty
Buckley
Buckley as the wife,
so
yeah, she was
good.
very, very good. That
She was
scene was
good
so devastating in the when she's yeah crashing the fuck out over
in the bed.
yeah fucking brutal.
The shortest I have seen Wilford Brimley's mustache in a while, because it was like it was up to his mouth, not just hanging down low. But you
Yeah.
could I hated his character at points when he was like, "So you're not gonna give me the song even though I did all this for you?" And he's like, "No, I have plans for it." And then he was like, "Well, you got any other songs?" And then you just feel his manipulation on him. And then later when he tells his
He's like the
ex-wife,
people that Duvall was he's like the guy that Duvall was like warning those other guys
that's
about.
about.
But
Mhm.
yeah.
But he still made
He
that record, and it
yeah.
got made, and I was
He
happy for him.
fucking I love Wilford Brimley in anything, but like he it's funny too because there's so many the authenticity of it. Like when I say Robert Duvall's character was such a real character, like I mean just like every time I just love there are multiple scenes where somebody's like, "Well, why can't you do this? Why can't you tell me this? Why don't you want to do this?" Because I can't. You know,
Mhm.
that's why I told you. You know, you're hard to hear it. Like so many people like that, you know, in the South and Texas and places like that who just like they're not gonna sit there and explain why they feel how they feel or why they, you know, are doing what they're doing. They're just like,
Yeah,
I just can't do it and I'm not gonna do it. Like, and just the way I don't know, it just felt so incredibly just like real to me. Like this guy isn't a caricature. He feels like a real person. Like, you know, and maybe isn't yeah, just I don't
it's
know.
also where Wilford Brimley pissed me the fuck off, because when he at the concert when he's outside, he's like, "I can get you in" and everything. He was like, he was already in there, so fuck off. B, you know that he has a extremely estranged relationship with his wife and daughter, and he still wanted him to come back in and like make show face and like be a celebrity at this event. And I despicable fuck. Like
Yeah.
I was not about his character.
He made me really mad when he said like, I don't like the song either. You know, like I don't think it's any good either. And that's what like pissed him off and made him go on that crazy driving
And
spree,
that
you know?
performance where like all the people start getting up and dancing when he's performing that song is so good. Ladder, or I don't remember the name of the song specifically, but he talks about the ladder.
If you climb the ladder or
Ladder.
something like
Yeah.
that. But yeah, and I couldn't believe that was really him singing. I can't that's
Mhm.
very impressive. He sounded great. So yeah,
What did you
apparently
say
that was
about
really
Metal?
Betty Buckley singing too.
Hell yeah.
So she had a hell of a voice.
I feel like the last thing I saw her in, which you wouldn't like this, is Split.
That may have been the last thing I saw her in. It's been a while since I've seen her in something. So
She's in the new Miles Teller or Elizabeth Olsen movie. So Eternity.
Eternity? I didn't know she was in that. Interesting.
Wonderful actress. Everyone kills it though. And
Yeah.
it's just like, no shit, this just comes together in such a fucking fantastic way.
Yeah.
But it's cool that these are like starting points for all these small little people. Like other than Robert Duvall and Wilford Brimley, a lot of these people I feel like didn't have a very public face, especially behind the scenes too. So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Or at least
I
Driving
mean-
Miss Daisy was after this, right? It was 90 something.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I feel like that's when him as a director, I didn't really like know anything before then. So
From
Yeah.
Australia,
I'm glad it all. you know.
hey, that's sick.
which makes it even kind of cooler that he was able to capture this life so authentically.
Yeah. Maybe that's why he can.
I mean,
because
I feel like
Australia's a
Australia is
fucking
kind of
barren
like
wasteland, just like
can be
Texas.
kind of. That's I was about to say. Yeah. Am I frozen?
You're glitching a bit.
You're lagging a little bit.
Okay, because you guys are glitching. Both of you are on my end, so I know it's my fault.
Oh, gotcha. At least it's not
That's
me
where
for
I'm at.
once.
Yeah.
because both of you guys are like glitching a little bit. So I'm like,
Do y'all have any last thoughts about this? Because
Oh,
definitely fucking check it out if you
Yeah.
haven't seen it.
Beautiful, beautiful movie.
tender but no mercy. They cut a line where Robert said, "Your name's
Sorry.
Dixie. My name's Dixie Normus."
Dixie, what? Oh, oh goodness. She's parting the sea with that big old cock.
Robert Duvall, Hung Dong.
The Red
I'll
Sea
just
is her
say that.
vagina. Period. Fuck.
You're still a little laggy.
Yeah.
I think maybe
know.
it's time for Big Puss to enter the chat.
If it gets worse, I might.
Heard.
We'll see. I don't know what's going on.
Well, before you switch, make sure to. Well, you can hear everything though. Or are we still lagging as well?
You guys aren't lagging as much, but I can see myself lagging at this point.
Damn.
That's how bad it is. Yeah, I noticed my image like glitching.
You look fine now.
Yeah.
Hopefully, it was a momentary issue.
You relapsed into your alcohol abuse, just like Robert Duvall. Almost did.
I'm drinking
Oh
Prosecco.
wow!
today.
Now I just got a message saying my
Oh,
internet connection
classy.
is unstable.
This is non
For once, it's not me. I can't believe it.
Wonder,
This is kind of funny.
am I fine?
This is wild as shit.
You're fine.
Okay.
I can
Well,
see.
If we've mercilessly tenderized ourselves, we're gonna move up from the feet we stand on when we sing our country music, and we're gonna move to the heart, to what truly is the beat of this episode. And I have a little song that I wrote in lyrics only. I did not write the actual music to this, and Jackson 100% will understand. I think, Matt, you will too once it starts playing. All right. Ooh, lovers, forbidden from one another. War Wong Kai directs his people. We weren't in the mood for love. All you needed was a hug. In the alley, yes, we will meet again. Your neighbor. Have sex with your neighbor. Riding martial arts serials together. Have sex with your neighbor. fuck your neighbor. Okay, I don't really remember this next part, but I think it goes something like this. Eating noodles in the rain, cigarette smoke straight up to the brain. Yes, we're in the mood for love. When your wife's a fucking hoe and your husband's a cut off toe, meet me in the alleyway where it rains and fuck your neighbor. But yes, that is my little rendition off of a stupid ass joke that I had at 3 a.m. when I was watching this movie.
Ironically, that
Tony Long
song
is
can
like-
also be applied to Kill a Mockingbird.
Heard?
Yes, it can indeed.
Jackson
but all right.
knows.
It can very much be applied to Kill a Mockingbird. Oh my god.
But literally, they are two lovers forbidden from one another, and War Wong Kai directs his people. They weren't in the mood for love.
His people.
What do you mean his?
Hey,
Fucking, what are you trying to
what I
say,
mean is that
Sam?
I'm drinking my sushi sour beer, even though sushi is not a Chinese thing. It all
Hey,
blends.
Let us
her
hear the
husband is
Asian accent.
Japanese.
Let
Her
us hear
husband
the
is
Asian
Japanese.
accent. Let it slip.
Hey, I had a Japanese line in that, and I cut it out.
There-
Yeah.
There's also a Korean in the movie, but it got redacted.
Tony Long is like State Farm, like a good neighbor. He's there.
Christ. Well, you're exactly right.
I
And
mean,
our next movie this episode.
honestly, I think you gave State Farm a good idea for a fucking commercial.
Let's
It
do it.
Classic.
Like State Farm is there, maybe a little too much.
he's trying to write a martial arts serial, and you're just trying to fucking live your life. Oh, now Jackson's gone. Oh, there he is. We all bounced around for a minute.
Yeah, Matt, you were looking pretty blurry.
Oh, Jackson, for me, you were the one who froze and disappeared and came back.
Same.
Your pick,
Sorry.
as I have sang about, is a love story, and that is why we went from our feet to our hearts. And that is why it's in the middle of this episode as well,
Yes.
starting from the bottom up.
Oh yes. Yes, my pick.
Are we?
Face down, ass up. That's the way I like to fuck.
I don't
You
know.
were
This feels more
Quick
like
with that. Oh goodness.
I don't know
feels
what
more
Matt's
like
getting at with
torso.
that. You're saying we're not the heart, we're more different parts? We're the lungs? We're the hands smoking the cigarettes?
For the Tony lungs.
No, I think the movie.
And if you will, ladies and gentlemen, if you will, my pick is In the Mood for Love. And if you will, I want you to, as always, picture this. It's 1962 Hong Kong. And you are a journalist type person who wants to write serials, but you haven't started doing it yet. And
just
you
don't
were
know
also a secretary. And you're neighbors. You've just moved in next door to each other in the same apartment building. And you're both married. And you find out pretty quickly, as I said in a previous episode, your wife's a hoe. But not only that, your husband is also a hoe.
Oh.
And your boss is named Mr. Ho. But he's not
and
a hoe.
also a hoe because he's cheating on his wife.
Is he?
That's what she got. I thought she got the two purses, one for his mistress, one for his wife. And that's where he went to dinner. She scheduled dinner with him with that. But since it was his birthday, he had to have
You're
dinner with his
probably
wife.
right. I
And so
was
she
very
called him, like,
tired
I'll
when
see
I
you
watched
somewhere
this
other
last
day.
night. I was very tired last night when I saw this. So
Mr.
you're
Ho
probably
is a
right.
hoe.
I just didn't catch that. But wow, Mr. Ho is a hoe. So that's a fitting name then. This movie is filled with hoes who ain't loyal. It's just how it is, you know?
It's a
But-
hoe on a hoe.
That's right.
Just as
Ho, ho,
Robert
ho.
Duvall
Chris-
used
Santa
the
Claus,
hoe.
bitch. Ho, ho, ho.
I was gonna say Robert Duvall was using that hoe at the end of
Yeah, he sure was.
And used that
And
hoe
just like
in
this
his
movie,
past.
and just like this movie, Santa Claus gives no breaks.
God damn. Fair.
Oh my good lord. But yeah, so there's a man, his name is Mr. Chow. There's a woman, her name is Mrs. Chan. And they, because they discover that their spouses are cheating on them with each other, they decide to become friends. But their one rule is they're not gonna let it turn romantic. Because they don't want to be like their spouses. They're gonna keep it platonic.
You cannot become the monsters that you are trying to fight against.
Exactly. But yeah, so essentially, they tell themselves they're going to keep it platonic, but love finds a way to work its way into the equation, and they end up falling in love. And will they end up getting together, or will they end up staying with their partners? You got to watch to find out, or you can listen to us spoil it in just a few minutes. But that is Kar-wai's beloved film, In the Mood for Love. What did you boys think of this one?
You know, it's funny. You know, it's funny. I say the same thing to the valet when he brings me the wrong car.
That you're
Wrong
in
car. Why?
All right.
Right.
Well,
one of your dumbest jokes and that fucking killed me.
it made me realize I mispronounced his name in my song, but oh well.
That's okay.
I can't believe I hadn't seen this movie before this. Like, and with how much I love Everything Everywhere, and its undeniable connection to this movie and the way it's shot, that whole segment, um, is this movie. Loose remake. Um, it's so good. It's beautifully shot. The scenes are just full of details, and like the rooms feel lived in, and like the whole confusion of they're moving in right next to each other, and so the moving people grab the wrong person's stuff to the wrong place. Like there's so much like quirky kind of funness to some of this that it's like it's hard not to just be like, oh, I'm having a good time with the tongue and cheekness, and then it just though someone will say something and it's just like, wow, you are depressed as fuck, and everyone just has to play it off and keep going about their business. and so and that's when you culminate to the scene where they're stuck in the room together that whole night because they said it was 8 rounds, but it's going on much longer, much like in the Sting. You can't just let the game end after you think you lost. And so it just builds and builds and keeps going, and then it like just hits this moment where she breaks down in his arms crying that it just like the rest of the movie is almost numb, and it's just like this kind of faded remembrance of like these feelings, and it's so good, so goddamn good. I can't believe it came out in 2002. It looks like it came out earlier, but
it does. So that's I think like he's just so good at the way he shoots his shit. The only other Wong Kar-wai movie I've seen is Chungking Express, and that movie to me is so different in the way it's shot. Like there's still very much him in it, like the way the crispiness of it. And I don't know if that's like the restorations they do for him or what, but I swear to God, all his movies are crispy as fuck. Like the camera work is way different because Chungking Express to me is more handheld, more kinetic, more like moving. This one was very steady cam, moving on dollies, like, you know, calm, but he still has that same energy and that same like lighting and the same feel between the characters, which like you said is like so authentic and real that you just like one moment you're like, oh, this is a movie and haha, and then they just say something so desolating that you're just like, fuck. Yeah. And the way he shoots, I loved one of the things I loved about this was the cut to black, pan out to the next scene, like where it would just kind of fade into darkness, and then he would pan out from like an object into the next scene. I was like, God damn, I love the way you're doing this. And it was like it was a motif throughout the movie too, because I noticed the first time I'm like, oh, did he do that like just once? And then he keeps doing it, and it's like, God damn.
I love the one that like, he does it where it's the apartment number and it's 2046, and then it like fades, goes in, and then like the sequel to this is 2046, and I'm like, yes, connections.
Yep.
I didn't
And
know that
like,
was a sequel. I just knew that was the name of one of his movies. I didn't know it was
Well,
a
all
sequel.
three of them are not like the same people. It's different like romantic stories told throughout
Oh.
time. But 2046 is a sequel to this, according to him. So
yeah. And he's just, it's one of those movies, honestly, where I think you could watch this completely without sound, without subtitles, and still feel something and still get something from it. And like, you know, that's just, yeah, I was having one. I watched this morning, like when I woke up immediately. So it's just kind of fresh on the brain. But yeah, I fucking love this movie. This like I need to see it again immediately. But he always
Mhm.
makes me just like I don't know. It also makes you want to fall in love, I think, a little bit too when you see this kind of shit. You're like, I want that. Yeah,
But
I want
also
that
it
kind of connection.
teaches you that circumstances do not stop you from that either. Like even if you're in these places that you think are what you're stuck in for the rest of your life, it's not doesn't mean it's where you're going to be at the end of your life kind of thing. And I appreciate that quite a bit.
Yeah.
Mhm. Yeah, so this was like you, Matt. This was my second Kar-wai movie. The only one I'd seen before this was The Grandmaster, which was not the best movie, but it wasn't his fault. Like it was
It's really well made.
because that was the thing. When I was watching that movie, I was like, this is so goddamn well made. And you can tell there's a great story in there, but that cocksucker Harvey Weinstein cut it down a lot for the North American release and butchered it and made it an almost incoherent story. So, and I remember watching it thinking like, man, this feels like there's a great story in here and it's so well made. But the story doesn't make any fucking sense. And then I found out afterwards it's because he cut at least 30 minutes, if not more of it, out, like crucial shit, you know? And I'm like, oh, okay. Well, that's why then. So I was like, okay, I want to see one of his like movies that where that's not the case, one of his and I've heard this is
You think Harvey?
say what?
You,
Watch your words carefully,
you
Matt.
ever think Harvey Weinstein? I was gonna say, do you think Harvey Weinstein ever said, like when he was watching this, he's like, I know his first name's Wong, but really the shit's wrong, and then just got up and fucking left the theater.
There's a distinct possibility that that may have happened.
I'm gonna go ahead and put that down as canon.
Me too, to be honest. I
Uh,
prefer to think that that's what happened. Um, but because that image is fucking hilarious in my mind. But yeah, so I wanted to see one of his
Bob
movies
looking
that
at one.
like was really fucking like good because he's someone who I can't believe I haven't gotten into him more yet because I've always wanted to, you know. So I was happy to, see this and it's so funny. So like I said, I was very tired last night when I was getting home from work and working out and I didn't start this until maybe like 12:30. And I was very tired. I'd gotten up very early yesterday, and I was like, "Oh my God, okay, I had to sit down and watch this." And my brain was not like, "I'm not going to be very focused, but I'm going to try." And so I sat down, I watched it, and I liked it. And it was like, okay, this is very different from what I thought it was going to be. Just the way that it's being done. This is extremely unconventional. The narrative and the structure of this thing is very, and I was like, at first, I liked it, but it wasn't quite connecting with me like I hoped. I was like, I'd heard this was one of the most romantic movies, and it's just kind of like all they're doing is showing just the little in between moments and everything. And it wasn't quite, and then there came a scene, and then there came a scene. That scene, maybe a little over halfway through the movie, where he says to her, we're never going to see each other again. And she breaks down crying in his arms.
mhm.
It all clicked like right there. That was when it all fucking clicked for me. I was like, I get it. Oh my God. Because that scene got me. I almost cried during that scene. I was like, everything that has happened up to this point has mattered so much because it's not about they've been having this passionate romance. It's not like, it's just they're two lonely people who are being neglected by their spouses and just spending time together, like being in each other's company, having somebody there. who just wants to spend time with them, wants to be with them, wants to do. That's what it's all been about. And that matters to them so much that when he says he has to go away, the devastation that they both feel is so raw because everything that they've gone through, as innocuous as it has seemed up until that point, mattered so much. And that was when the whole fucking thing clicked. And from that point on, I was feeling fucking everything. I was like, I so badly don't want them. When he called and said, if I had an extra ticket, would you go with me? I was like, I fucking hope like hell she does, man. I fucking hope like hell. And then when she didn't, goddamn. When she called him on the phone,
Yeah.
fucking coward, and couldn't even goddamn say anything, fucking killed me. And just by the time it was over, I was a wreck. I was just like emotionally just destroyed. I was like, God damn, what the fuck? Like, I really, Matt, like you said, I kind of want to see it again right away, just so I can like analyze it differently than the first time I saw it, just like knowing what the point is and knowing where it goes and knowing all that stuff. Kind of like how it was for Once Upon a Time in America with me, where it's like I enjoyed it on the first watch, but the second watch was like it fully clicked. And then this time I'm like, yeah, I was destroyed by the end of this movie. I was like, so well done, conveyed so much emotion through such a non-conventional structure, which I really applaud. It's so different than what you're expecting in the best way. I just didn't realize it until about halfway through the movie what he was going for. So yeah, just a beautiful, beautiful movie, no question.
I think
Yeah, I mean,
this movie's talked about a lot, and I feel like every time I hear it talked about, nobody accurately describes how just breathtaking some of the stuff is and how it like sucks you in and just completely makes you a part of their world. And also the anger that some of them face, the frustrations, the simple things that make them happy. And
well,
it's just it you feel it, and I
for
love it.
for me, like Tender Mercies and this had similar vibes, where in the sense, like I feel like both are fucking killer in what they're trying to do, and they bring such a certain emotion to like their theme that is not often spoken of. For example, like they have a redemption arc in Tender Mercies that I think is like pretty original. At least to me, it's like, okay, at least you killed it. That actually felt like a redemption movie. Like I felt redeemed. This one, I felt like there was a lot of longing going on in this love, story, which I like. There's not a lot of movies that really play with that as much as this did, in my opinion. And I'm just haven't seen enough romance movies, but I swear to God, like I felt that, like Jackson, you mentioned this, you felt like it was a bunch of in between moments up until that point. But that's to me what a relationship kind of is it starts out as those in between moments until you realize, oh shit, I actually like this fucking person. And those weren't just in between moments. Those were that was the leading up to us actually being in love.
Exactly.
The writing
I
is
don't know.
so
I just feel like
goddamn
this
good.
movie hits it so well in that point.
Exactly. And that was it
There's
just
no
it didn't occur to me until that scene where she starts crying like that was the point. I realized in that moment I'm like that's why they love each other is because they've just spent all these little moments together and they've gradually realized, wow, I like you said, wow, I actually like this person. And that's what makes it so beautiful and so unconventional and so just relatable. It's so heartbreaking because like everyone can relate to that. Like it's one thing for them to do the conventional like, oh, the passionate romance, that was doomed and is tragic and all that. But I, like you said, like I don't think I've ever seen a movie that's done it this way. Where it's just about the little moments
the
leading
way
up to
they
it.
treat time is so like carefully just like handed, but they'll have like moments that where like she'll be leaving and they'll still hold the shot and then he'll come walking in and like that's hours later kind of thing. And it's just so like these brief touches of like connection that just go away. In a lot of movies now you just get the scene right after where he'll like go up, follow her and all the way up to her room and all that kind of stuff. And it's like, no, these fleeting glimpses of what you could be, what you are what make them impactful even more so because you have them in such small contained little pockets.
Yeah, and I think as well, I don't know what you guys thought, but for me, the end years later when he goes back to the apartment and is looking around and stuff and everybody's gone. Like nobody who was there before is there now. and then the text comes up that says like all traces of that era are gone now. To me, I don't know if you guys agree, but to me, what that was kind of trying to say was just like they were so nervous when they were living there that all these people were gonna like were spying on them, were judging them, we're gonna find out
He
about them,
doesn't
we're
like the
being
gossip.
nosy. And then like just 4 or 5 years later, all that's gone. Like they didn't have to like they if they had just waited a couple of years, they wouldn't have had to put up with any of those people anymore. And they still would have been in love and they still wouldn't have been able to see each other, but they were so preoccupied with just that superficial shit at the time that ultimately wasn't going to last and didn't matter. I don't know. That's kind of like it hit
That's
me in that sense.
that's where their relationship hits even harder, where they're eating and she's like, order for me, what does your wife like? And then he's like, my wife picks out my ties. And then when they go home, they almost feel like they were each other's person to begin with, and they've
Yeah.
always been married to each other. And but then they separate into their two separate domiciles. And
Yeah, I
as
don't want
Matt
to get
put
too
it
per
in last episode, she may just be some bitch, but really there be more.
there
There
be
be
more.
more.
I don't want to get too personal, but when that like text came up in that whole scene, it made me think of the moment that I saw the TikTok of the apartment posting me and Abby's original apartment being for sale and like being like, oh, they cleaned up really good. And it was literally just like our empty ass apartment they were walking around. And when that popped up, I had such a visceral like moment to that where I was like, yeah, yeah, you know,
And
literally
that's
it's
the
space and then it's not a space, but still the memories are there, but like nothing is there.
well, that's
Literally
what
just like,
that was
Yeah.
what made the ending so devastating to me was that fucking text. The way it was described of like whenever he looks back at that time, it's like looking through a window with dust over it. He can see it, but he can't touch it, and it just gets blurrier and blurrier and harder to go through all the time. I was like, fuck. Like that's supposed to be the one thing you've got
Mhm.
is your memories, but even those are fading and are becoming more unreliable to him as the years go by. I was like again, like I don't know. I don't feel like I can remember a romance movie that described that in such a devastating way before. You know, it's just fucking brutal. And I also think like there's a moment in this movie that it doesn't matter what moment it is. At some point in this movie, everybody can make like for me, and maybe this is why it clicked. That scene in the middle, the one that clicked with me when she starts crying. I don't know, for whatever reason, I was like I just can relate to this feeling, you know, of just like this person who like makes you feel this way and does this thing is going away. And just like there's nothing you can do about it. And then she just all the emotions that she's kept so tightly under control are coming out now. I'm just like that was the moment for me where I was just like I relate to that feeling, you know? Like everybody has a moment in this that I think connects to them on an emotional level and it's like goddamn, you know. And that's what I think is so brilliant about it and I think makes it so relatable because it's so grounded in like realism. It's not because I was expecting it to be, you know, the typical like I said, the passionate love affair movie that we've seen a million times, but he was going for something totally different and I love that. And I think it's just yeah, just beautiful. I see now why so many people love this movie because it's, you know, fucking I
and
love the
Really
it's
theme.
beautiful
crazy because like
color.
I haven't seen Fallen Angels yet, but Chungking Express is such a fucking good movie that it's
Yeah.
like, God damn, this guy must be a genius. Like, swear to God. I haven't seen any other than that, but like just based off these two, it's like Jesus Christ.
Yeah. This was the first one that like because again I had mixed feelings about the Grandmaster, but this was the first one where I was like, whoa, you know, okay, this fucking guy. He's the real deal, you know. I want to watch his other movies so bad. Oh, and I have to
Definitely
say, Sam, real quick, I know you appreciated this as well, I assume. The fucking that fucking music in this goddamn
a
movie.
waltz that plays when they like encounter each other. It's like
So good.
They played it a few too many times, I thought, but when you got a piece of music that's that good, you're
yeah,
gonna use it as much as you can because seriously, that was one of my favorite like pieces of music in any movie. Like I just
yeah.
loved it. It was so
It
beautiful.
everything captures like grips you, and then you're just like the colors, the set pieces, the costuming, the softness of like a weirdly like their skin. Their skin was so soft, and I think the way it was lit just made it look so smooth.
I think it was it was like a soft lighting, but there's also like hard, it wasn't too soft. It was like hard to explain.
Yeah.
So I'm like, how does he do it?
Well,
Because
that's
like there's hard cutoffs, yet it feels soft as fuck.
Mhm.
Sorry, continue.
As the master Christopher Doyle as the cinematographer,
Yeah.
who's
Yeah.
one of the all-time goats. So he killed this shit for sure. I also, speaking of him, he was the cinematographer for Hero, the Zhang Yimou movie, and this is a reunion. Tony Leung and Maggie Chung played husband and wife in that movie as well.
That's awesome.
So that was cool for me. But yeah, I'm glad we all enjoyed In the Mood for Love. I think you know, I was surprised. I thought at least one of you would have seen it. I couldn't believe it when all three of us hadn't seen it before. So yeah, that's always nice when we all get to experience one for the first time. And we all. I guess Tender Mercies was the same way. None of us had seen that, so we. I doubt any of us had seen Head, so maybe all three were like that. So.
I
Um,
don't see head. Usually my eyes are closed.
I was gonna do it, but I was like, I'll let Matt go.
Thank you.
He'll come up with something better than me.
Well, that does bring
Um,
into question, and I'll let you finish your statement. Are we going to the head or are we going to the head?
Why not both?
Fair.
Why not both? But yeah, great movie. One that,
Bite that tongue,
again,
Matt.
kind of like Tender Mercies, it took me off guard in a different kind of way, where it just was not at all what I was expecting. But I ended up just loving it and connecting with it so much in the end. And I also have to say, um, I love Tony Leung so goddamn much. He's the GOAT.
Mm-hmm.
Maggie Chung, her second appearance on the show after Heroic Trio, she was fantastic. And yeah, just anything Tony Leung is in, I'm there for it. So,
He just has that suaveness that like
Yeah,
people just don't have.
well, it's funny you should say that because
wait. Okay. Sorry.
I was just
Go
gonna say
ahead.
real quick, Kar-wai said something very interesting about him in this movie, where he said like, I love movies where because the actor is so likable, people like excuse their behavior. He said, I love Jimmy Stewart in Vertigo because, because he's Jimmy Stewart, like everybody likes him, even though he's a fucking psychopath in that movie. And he's like, because Tony Leung has such a likable face, you excuse the things he does in this movie, even though they're very questionable.
This any of his movies, but this specifically made me want a fucking cigarette. Like I don't even like the taste anymore. I don't even like the fucking. I like the lightheadedness, but like even the after effect makes me nauseous. I still wanted to fucking smoke a cigarette
When he was
immediately.
sitting
I
there
was like,
with the cigarette
this
behind
man
his
just
head,
knows how to
he was,
hold
like,
it. The smoke
working
just
on
knows how to curve. Yeah, like oh my god, like the smoke in this movie is so fucking good.
Yeah.
It has that
Like
blue color to it that
I
I
know
really
we
like.
have the movie Smoke on here, but
Speaking of Handmaiden,
I do think there is a thing we need to talk about that we haven't is smoke in movies. Like not just cigarette smoke, but just smoke in general in movies can be utilized so fucking well. And I was rewatching one battle after another, and the smoke in that movie is amazing. The
life
tear gas smoke and just also Leo's vape smoke. Leo just vaping near the end when he gives her the letter, and I
blows
like
it in her
watched him hit
face.
like you just see the fucking. No, he doesn't blow it in her face. Actually, there's one part where he literally hits the table and literally just ricochets off the
Oh,
table, and I loved that shot. I was like, damn, I didn't notice that the first time. Smoke in movies are so amazing. I don't know. I have to bring that up.
Yeah. Great time with this one, no doubt.
Well,
yes. We
now that we're
started
in the
at our
mood for
feet.
love,
Oh,
when you're in the mood for love, you're often in the mood for head.
let's hope you can get it.
But just make sure, unlike Bob Saget, you're not sucking it for the coke.
You're sucking
Well,
it just to suck. To your point, Matt, we've laid up our feet. We're taking a load off of them. We've
like the
taken a
monkeys
load.
do.
We've taken the load off our hearts.
That one too.
And the load that we're going to give you is going straight into the brain with the monkey's head. So I'm going to say something that, Matt, you might take great offense to, given what's right behind you. But you are one of two people, or your parents are one of two people. You're either a fan of the Monkees or you're a fan of the Beatles. I grew up in a Monkees household. See, Matt, I
I've
know
always
what you're
heard.
saying.
I've heard the Beatles and the Stones. I've never heard the Beatles and the Monkeys.
Oh,
Never.
really?
Yeah, I was about to say
That was this
that
whole
was my
movie. They
literally. I
reference
was
how
like,
they get called the
no,
Beatles
Sam,
the whole time.
Sam, you're talking about a knockoff trying to pass itself off as an original.
Literally.
The
Well,
Stones
that is
versus
exactly
the
the
Beatles
point of my
makes sense
movie,
because they're
which
not a fucking knockoff of the Beatles.
is a
They're
Monty.
totally different
It's
things
a
with
Monty
similar
Python
inspirations.
knockoff. This whole movie is a Monty
The
Python knockoff.
Monkeys. Cool. I'm glad you're there with me
I'm with you
because it's not half as good.
My mom really likes the Monkees. My dad and brother, they like the Beatles. I gravitated towards the Monkees mainly because my mom would just constantly be playing their songs. And she would call me a monkey and say I was just monkeying around. And I appreciated that as a kid. But to let the audience picture where you are.
I love Matt's delayed reaction to Sam's joke. It took him about 3 seconds.
It wasn't delayed.
Your
that might
internet
have been a
delayed.
glitch thing. It wasn't.
That's what I'm saying. It's delayed because of your
say-
computer. Yeah. Or
Yeah,
your
the
phone.
moment you said, yeah, that was like,
But yes, Head came straight from the brains of one of my favorite directors of all time, Bob Ralphison, and none other than the Jack Nicholson, who produced and co-wrote this movie and curated all the music for this movie.
no shit.
Take
He
it.
was high as fuck.
He was
could
high
tell.
as fuck, guaranteed.
I wish I was on. I wish I was tripping so hard when I saw this because I would have liked it 10 times more.
I would have liked it a lot more too. But yes, it is technically a series finale for their not hit TV show, The Monkees.
Well, it was a hit, and then it wasn't.
And
anymore.
then dived very fucking hard. But you are taken through a series of stories, vignettes, just random ass fucking bullshit that are all each of the members, because at the very beginning, or not the very, but the beginning, they're making out with the same girl, all of them. And she's like, well, you're all the same person to me. And so they feel like they don't have an individual voice. And so what you get is individual stories with each member of the band and their specific situations of where they want to feel heard artistically, where they want to just be accepted in certain fields. And I see you shaking your head, Matt. Whether it works or not is what it is. This is my first musical on this podcast, and I bring it back to the head just like this movie does, because you end where you fucking begin, and you fucking start by committing suicide on a bridge, and that's what I wanted to do by the end of this movie. The directorial debut of Bob Ralphison, though, and so I will kind of excuse any kind of direction issues I had with this, because he's spinning that wheel. He is churning, and they are just going and going and going and
This
going.
is the first movie of his I've ever seen.
Oh, wow.
I have yet to see Five Easy
Damn.
Pieces or anything else he's done.
Postman Always Rings Twice.
Yeah, you got to see the other ones.
Like
you got to see the other ones. The other ones are so good.
This one shows Five Easy Pieces in particular is one I've always wanted to watch.
That's a season 3 pick for me. Just a heads up. So
that'll be fun.
It was before I had even known about this movie. I found this movie on a random Twitter post where it was them jumping off the cut of the birthday party where it was all like psychedelic, and it was a gif of just constant fucking visual mess. And then the part with the mirror where the dude's standing behind and the cop is like shocked, which made me want to see it. And yeah, I have extreme highs and extreme lows with this movie. Take it what you will. I think it is what it is, but I'm glad I saw it. So I don't know how y'all feel.
It is what it is. Boy, that goddamn sums this up a lot. I really expected to like this movie, to be fair, Sam. I walked into this movie thinking like, oh, the Monkees. I do like, okay, it's funny. I was shitting on them a second ago. I do kind of like the Monkees. I've liked a couple of their songs. I said, okay, and I know their TV. I've heard of their TV shows. Like, this might be a fun, cool, like psychedelic romp. And I'm not gonna lie, there were some jokes that I found fucking hilarious. For me, the linebacker in the
in the war
fucking army trenches tackling the dude when I was like, I just need some ammo. I also could not tell you what monkey was who. I just know there was like, oh, that's the same dude from the
I
other
know the
one. Must be
drummer.
one of them.
Mickey the drummer is
And
like the
like you
only
can
one
tell
I
because
know.
one dude with the hair, but like yeah, like other than that, like there was the Coke machine in the fucking desert, which I thought was kind of funny. But like all in all, I was like, I don't think the monkeys have the charisma that this movie requires to pull off, which is where I had the moment, Sam, where funny you mentioned the Beatles really quick, because I said, honestly, if this was the Beatles, same exact movie, like verbatim, shot for shot, I thought the direction was fine. The writing, whatever, it was crazy. The direction was fine. I would have probably had a little bit of better of time with it. And maybe if also I hadn't had to watch it like as under direct, like quickly, like fuck, I might have also had a better time with it. But I was just kind of sitting there like, they're kind of funny. They don't add up to anything as much as I wish they had, because it seems like they're trying to at the point. And then I don't know. I
That's
also
where I felt like
wasn't.
they were trying to be
I didn't
Monty
really stick
Python,
with
but
the
you're
songs.
just not Monty Python. So how the fuck do you want to like compare yourself to that? But
At least Monty Python almost always has a through line. Like there's a connecting thread
yeah,
somewhere, even if it's thin as fuck. There's a thread. There seemed to be no thread. It just seemed to be bit after bit after bit after bit, and I don't know. I was kind of getting angry with it. I was like, can we get to the end? And then honestly, near the end, that the scene where he's like, I'm a millionaire. How does it feel? And he's like, it's terrible. That's how it feels. And honestly, I shit my pants when he said the lines. Wait, I can't look at my fucking notes. When he's like, basically just recalling from what I can, he's like, you come in here and you jump out at me and you say, do you know what you say? You say, happy birthday. And I just kind of shit my pants laughing. I'm just like, what the fuck? Like, I thought he was going to go about being old or something. Nope. Zero. Like, I was ready for like some deep nope. And I was just like, damn it.
At that point in the movie,
Damn
you
it.
were still expecting this thing to be anyway deep and not just goddamn
I was
stupid.
giving it a shot because of the vignette aspect that, like, maybe this is the vignette that's deep. Like, I literally was just
that's
like,
where they
maybe.
say straight up, "Oh, you
And
know nothing. Then what was the whole point of this whole thing?" And then it's like, "Well, yeah, there was no goddamn point."
point. And then it's just like, okay. Okay. Glad I spent my time watching it. No offense to say, this is not your fault. I know
Yeah,
you
yeah,
haven't
yeah,
seen the
yeah.
movie. I'm
No,
not blaming you.
I took
I
a
just literally
shot.
sat there and I was like,
I wish the shot was in my
yeah,
fucking head, but
if I was in a theater, I probably would have stood up and said, fuck you, and then just walked out. Like, that's how I felt. Like,
Well, Matt,
Jackson, I'll let you take it away.
Matt, it's funny you should say that. I didn't need a theater. That's just what I did in my fucking room here. Was the second it ended, I literally stood up, yelled "Get fucked," and turned it off. Sam, you are you guys ready for a little bit of a role reversal this week? Are you ready?
what the
I
Matt
feel like
picked a
this is a role
masterpiece.
reversal because I feel like,
Matt picked a
yeah, I
masterpiece
feel like me and Jackson
this
haven't
week,
agreed on
and
this in a while.
Samuel Holler picked what is
a
now
comedy from another decade.
unquestionably one of my top three worst movies in the history of the podcast. Fuck you for picking this goddamn fucking stupid, pretentious piece of shit, waste of time fucking movie. I hated this so goddamn much. I was in searing fucking pain watching this. And you son of a bitch, you
Jackson,
knew good and goddamn well I wasn't gonna like this
Exactly.
movie.
I
This
agree,
was a
man. I was like,
fucking
"Oh, you gotta watch
setup.
it. You gotta watch it. You gotta watch it."
I swear to
This
God,
was a
I
fucking
was,
setup. God damn it.
and
And
you know what's
I
funny?
did not
I was
appreciate
halfway
it.
through Jackson. I was halfway through the movie when I saw your review, and I thought this could be a setup. I don't know yet. It's not.
It was definitely a setup for
Clearly,
me.
it's not a setup.
I have to join the ranks of terrible musicals on this
I don't think
podcast.
Sam knew either.
I did not going
I
in,
don't think
but I had to
yeah, I was
stand
about to
by my
say, I feel
choice.
like you went in with the best intentions, like I
I
do
was
with some
sitting
movies.
here. I was sitting here. Well, to quote Sam Neill from Jurassic Park 3, some of the worst things imaginable have been done with the best of intentions. And this is one of those things. That was honestly like part of the reason I was so angry is I was just sitting here like Sam knew good and goddamn fucking well I was gonna hate this movie and he picked it
I doubt it. No,
anyway.
no, no. I think after he saw it, yes.
Yeah.
Do I think Sam knew immediately when he picked it? No,
No.
because I guarantee you, I would have had the same thought whenever I picked. I've had the same thought when I picked one of the movies you hated vehemently. I'm like, I don't think you're gonna hate this. You
This
might
is
not love it,
now this is now in
but
my
shit.
this is in my
And
top
also, I'm
three.
in your boat though. This
This
is no
has
offense, Ted. This is
supplanted
one of the worst.
this has supplanted Onyx the Fortuitous as the number three most hated movie I've ever seen on the fucking podcast.
I'm not
I
gonna
hated
lie.
this
I
movie
think this
so
might be
goddamn
number
much.
one.
Say what?
No. Sorry, it's not number one. Number one's Amelia Perez.
Oh, for
This
you?
might be number two. For me. That's Amelia Perez, and then this,
This
and
was
then
the face I
I want
had
to
when
say
I
three
knew
wet.
Jackson was gonna hate this goddamn fucking movie, and I was like, I'm picking it anyway.
Yep, that seems about right. But yeah, I was like, and what I'm surprised by, and yeah, for the record, my top three, it's Spoils of Babylon, Comet, and then this. So, but what I'm surprised by, hey, but Matt,
Pick your own pick, goddammit.
Matt, all three of them aren't yours anymore. You should be happy.
I took
No,
bronze.
pick your own pick.
Well, because see, Amelia Perez to me is one of the worst movies we've had on the show.
Yeah, you're gonna tell.
No question about it. But that movie to me was more like, for the most part, like funny bad than like infuriating bad for a lot of it. That was more just I was laughing.
No, I was mad you made me watch the fucking movie when I watched it too.
That's
Because I was
valid.
like, Jackson knows this is bad.
That's
That was
valid.
kind of like he knows what he's doing.
So
Sam
I've done
didn't
this
know
before.
for sure. Like,
What? This is
Comet, I
my
was
this is
50-50.
I did
Spoils of
give y'all the
Babylon,
out. I
kind
did
of
give
was
y'all the out to
surprised
not
on
watch
that
it
one.
in time. I said if y'all want to watch it, you got to do it by tonight. But I didn't
Yeah.
specify you might not want to watch it.
I
You
didn't want to
didn't
make
say
you have to
that. You
pick
didn't make
another
that
movie
clear
yet
enough,
again.
I feel,
Also,
but I didn't know what this was about. So
it was more like I'm gonna do my best to get this in, and if I don't, I'll feel like shit because I feel like Jackson would have seen it at least, and then both of you have already seen the movie. And
if I
I'm
had to
not gonna
watch
lie,
this
Sam.
thing,
Sam,
if I'd had to watch this thing and we didn't talk
no,
about it,
you know what?
I would have killed Sam with my bare hands. So Matt, you saved his
Sam,
life.
the night you mentioned, no, I have to say this, Sam. The night you mentioned this movie, I tried putting it on. I got 20 minutes in, and I realized I was on my phone the whole fucking time. And so I said, okay, I'm gonna wait till later. And then you text the group chat, it's going off tomorrow. And I said, great, okay, it's the next day. And now I have to do an effort to pay attention to this damn movie that I knew 20 minutes in, I was like, I know I don't like this 20 minutes in. There's no way I can like come around again in a fucking 24-hour period.
So here's the thing.
And I didn't.
Here's my biggest relief. I was convinced when I was watching this. I was like, this is going to be one battle after another 2.0, where I assumed the two of you were going to love this, and I was going to be the only one hating it, and we were going to be fighting about it. So it gives me great relief to know that you both didn't like it as well.
Yeah.
So I'm just like, because
I
I'm
was surprised Sam liked it because your review was kind of nice about it.
but that's the case a lot of the time.
I was enjoying the trippiness
I
aspect
literally
of
didn't
it.
give it any stars for once. I said, I'm not going to rate this.
I mean, it says it all.
I'm going to pull a Jackson and just be completely ambiguous.
I think the only part I really liked was when the whole movie went to shit, and then Bob Ralphison and Jack Nicholson came out and were like trying to like fix things and being like fucking like do your jobs.
Yeah, that. And here's the thing: it says it all. That literally the entire reason that this movie was made was to kill the monkeys. Like literally, that is the reason Bob Raffleson made this film. He was tired of the monkeys. He wanted it to stop being a thing, so he made this specifically so that everyone would hate it, nobody would watch it, and that it would just kill the monkeys forever. I think that fucking says it all.
He explains a lot because he had them killing themselves in the beginning and the end of the movie.
Yeah. And that was the thing that took me so off guard about it, because I have not heard a single one of the Monkey songs. I have not seen a single episode of
By
their
the way,
TV show. I have not. I had like I knew who they were, of course, but like personal familiarity was like zero. So, but the one thing I knew about the Monkeys, I was like, they're a very like safe, like clean cut band, and their show is very like Partridge Family-esque, like super G-rated everything. So when this movie
Partridge
started,
Family would have
it
been
was
a
like
better
super.
that is literally the
I was like, when this was like a super
Partridge Family.
weird, avant-garde, like anti-establishment, like kind of dark, fucked up movie, I was like, what the fuck? Like, this isn't what they're usually known for. It took me very off guard. So I
That's
was like,
where they injected some of the like
No
the
offense,
band
that's
as a
like
group also felt like they had been pigeonholed into a we are what our surface level is. We will never be able to talk about anything that's important to us. But the things they were talking about,
My
while important, what they had to say is not interesting. So,
Not in the least. No, the
so like,
commentary was so
my aunt.
goddamn
It's funny. I
pretentious and
asked her. Like,
surface level. It just was so annoying to me, and
so,
just the sketches made no sense. It was
so it's
just a
funny. I
waste of
asked my
fucking
aunt.
time. Like, goddamn, like
Well,
him.
it's funny. I asked my aunt who was alive. She was alive in the era, and I said, "Hey, like, I have to handpick this movie about, it's the monkeys like movie, like a Beatles movie kind of, but it's called Head, where they're just doing random vignettes. Do you want to watch this with me? Because like, you might, I don't know, if she liked the monkeys. The look she gave me was so fucking indicative of how I felt about this movie. She would have just kind of like looked at me out of the side of her eyes and went, eh. I was like, damn, the monkeys, really? And honestly, I'm glad I didn't make her watch this movie because she probably would have had like more like, yeah, fuck these guys. Like I was around when they were a thing. Fuck them,
Yeah.
the editing
Because
is
like
one
this,
of my
I'm
favorite
sure
parts,
like
but it's
I don't know.
also
This would
so
be like if like
fucking
some like I'm just thinking like the most whitewashed band we have nowadays trying to make a political statement with Trump and it just landing so fucking wrong. And I
Yeah,
think that's
something like
probably the
that.
equivalent of this.
Which is kind of as
I'm
I
like trying to
was.
think of who it would be. Like,
they kept reusing that execution footage, and I was like, I don't need to see this again. Like, please stop
Yeah.
playing it.
that okay,
Yeah.
I put that down on
It
my
was
notes.
so
I forgot. I
edgy.
said,
It was
there was a
so
live
fucking,
person killed in this
it drove
movie.
me fucking crazy.
I
I
was
was
like, by
like,
the way,
ooh, we're
it's
making
a
a
snuff
point of that
film now.
ending.
Thank you.
Is that what?
No, this is a snuff film. This is a snuff
Yeah,
film
you see an actual person
because they
get
showed that man
brutally
being shot,
executed.
Yeah.
and that was not. He is literally, yeah.
I get that
And I'm
that was the
like,
catalyst of the
I
Vietnam
literally the
War and
moment
all
I
this
saw this, I
other
went,
stuff,
they're
but
not going to
like,
show this. They didn't cut. I thought they were going to cut before he fell ground. Nothing.
no,
They show
yeah,
the whole fuck. They show, and I'm like, yo, why would you show me a dead, like a live dead person in a movie without warning?
Yeah.
How did
I feel like
Amazon,
that
like,
can't.
or whatever, Tubi, not put up the warning? Like, a live person is going to die in this, by the way.
I
Like,
feel like that
animals are
can't
one
be the
thing,
first time
but
they've
Jesus
shown that
Christ, like,
before. I feel like I've surely seen that in other movies
I mean,
before.
definitely, but like, it's
really?
it's
Like, they
jarring.
don't, like, specifically, like, say, hey, we're showing this. Like, a live person being shot in the fucking head or killed. I
Yeah.
cannot think, and not, like, I'm talking, like, not a documentary. This is not a documentary. This is a
Yeah.
It wants to
avant-garde
be.
movie, sure,
Yeah.
but
With the
I just
monkeys.
can't think of, like, another movie where I saw, like,
Like that's the thing. Like with the monkeys, it's like, and I
yeah,
get
and
it.
it's
The
just
entire
like,
point was this was not supposed to be liked or seen by anybody. That's why they're doing it. But it's like, okay,
but why
like
would you want to do this? Okay, you gotta have a fucking vendetta against the monkeys to waste your feature film, like feature, to like bury them.
well, because
Like,
Bob
talk about
Raffleson.
hater level. Like, talk about how much of a hater Bob Ralphson has to
No, but
be to say,
he
I'm
was
gonna
the
risk my
He
entire
directed a few
career to
episodes of
bury
the
your
he
show.
fucking
was the
ass.
creator of the show. He was the so he was this was basically
Again, again, like you're still risking your whole career to like
yeah.
ruin somebody.
No,
Not
but
even somebody,
he's
four people.
the whole point
Like an
was
entire four fucking people.
the whole point
Which I
was
think is like kind of crazy because he's such a good director.
well, for the record, the point was he was tired of the monkeys and having to be chained to them, and he just wanted to kill them and move on, basically. And the show had tanked at this point and was canceled off the air, so they were all just like, "Fuck it, may as
This
well."
was Bob Ralphison when he succeeded. Oh, and Matt left. I don't know if I should wrap it up.
Also, I want to talk about. Oh,
But
yeah, wrap it up.
yeah,
And then we can talk about something else. I just
but I
got
feel
to
like I
bring
need
this up before I leave.
Jackson at least cognizant uh to ask because I pretty much guarantee we're 2 for 3 this week unanimously. But
Unanimously 2 for 3. I'm surprised because I thought you were gonna like the head, and I was feeling so bad that I
oh
was gonna shit
no,
on it because I was like, "Damn, Sam likes this movie." He said, "I feel like I picked a good musical," and I was like,
I was fucking with y'all. It's not a
"Okay, good."
musical at
I
all.
was
It's
so
not
worried
even
that
a
you were
fucking
not
musical. They
joking.
don't actually sing any of their goddamn fucking songs in the movie. So
Thank you.
like,
Sorry, I'm
other
so
than the
glad.
stuff
I
that's an
was so
actual
worried. I was like,
concert,
"That's why I didn't rate it because I
it's like
didn't
a
want
concert
anybody to."
movie. And then it wants to be Monty Python, and then it wants to be a political thing, and
And
it's
then it must
none
be a
of
music
it.
video.
And then it
And it
wants to be
want
a
and
music
also
video, and it's none of it.
and then fuck Brockhampton.
Fuck you.
They know what
I
they
don't know
were
why you're
doing.
saying that, but fuck you.
The
No,
sincerity
you know
with
what
which
they were
Sam
doing.
said that.
Are you sure? You telling me Brockhampton didn't copy the monkeys with their fucking sepia ass underwater bullshit?
That's fair.
Fair enough.
But also, like, the baby from Nirvana is copied from that
That's where I'm
fucking
at.
shit
That's
as
sorry.
well.
That's
So, like, there's a lot of people who fucking copied this shit.
okay. Well,
The
did
speed and the sincerity with which Sam said that just sent me. I'm sorry.
well Sam, did Brockhampton
Did not
kill
like the
themselves?
monkeys. Yes, they did.
Did they jump off of a bridge?
One of them did.
Were they
No,
dangerous on
no.
somebody's hair?
All of them are losing their hair.
Were
so
they in
yes.
urethra?
Were they in a vacuum cleaner?
No, but they were in
They meet an Indian
a
Swami
black
in a
box theater
sitting
just
room.
like us. So
Were they at a Native American casino down 500?
I would just like to point out at this point that we barely, because there's nothing to goddamn say about this movie other than it's a piece of shit, pretentious, fucking stupid ass
that's
thing.
what
We haven't really talked about it in specifics.
I don't know if
that
you heard
much
me
'cause
say
we
it to
can't.
Matt.
Well, because
Like
there's nothing
I
like
said,
specific to
I
talk
know.
about.
I
There's
said
like
like
vignettes.
to y'all,
What's our favorite vignette?
I picked a good
Could you even
musical.
remember one?
But this movie is not a
No.
musical, and this movie is a jukebox musical, if that. And that's how I knew you wouldn't like this movie, Jackson.
Not
But
even.
the
It's
fact
not
that
even it's like a
it's not
music.
even.
It's literally a music video that's like an hour and a half fucking too
And just
long.
edited fucking ridiculously and all over the
Can I
place.
just tell you the part of the movie I hated the goddamn movie the entire way through, just like viscerally hated it. The part where I fucking literally just Sam wanted to fly to your home and just rip your fucking throat out because I just hated the movie so goddamn much is the scene where Timothy Carey is just like and shit like that. I'm
Uh,
just like I literally just hate
where
this
he
so
had
I
where he had
can't.
the stroke. That was supposed to
Yeah.
be Bruce Dern, and in the script his name was Dernsey.
Oh,
Yeah, I just that was the part of the
oh
movie where
my
I literally
god.
was I can't do this. I can't goddamn do this. This is the worst fucking thing I've ever I can't. It's so stupid. It's so goddamn bad. It's
I
just what are
wish
we doing? What are we doing?
I
What
do
the
wish
fuck are we
Bruce Dern had
doing?
played that role though, because Jack Nicholson was doing it just to make fun of his friend, and if his friend had played the person he was making fun of, that would have been better.
Bruce Dern would have given him the treatment he gave that guy in Bloody
I
Mama.
do want to say though, the giant little people effects were like somewhat not bad. Like I've seen worse. I've seen better, but I've seen worse. The cow's mouth moving, that was fucking horrendous to look at. That was one of the worst nightmare fuel images I'd ever seen. But I
Yeah.
love Frank Zappa, so I was just glad he showed up. So
This thing sucked ass. I wanted to put a gun next to my head and fire it while watching this film. I was so convinced the whole time I was
Well,
watching it that you both were gonna love it, and so I'm happy that, we don't have to fight about it.
no. No, just because my like whole situation of my picks changing so quick, I was like, I'm sticking to my guns with this. I didn't like it, but at least I will not be alone because I know Jackson won't like it, and then Matt might be the one we have to fight. But I'm glad
This
Matt
is the first
didn't
this
like
is
it
the
either.
first one, Sam, that you've chosen that's made me this fucking angry that I can think of. Like,
Good.
up there with Matt's worst picks that have pissed me off.
actually, I gotta say this, Sam. This was actually it's funny because I have the same era. I was like, damn. Even Corel, like I liked. Like I have like not had a Sam pick where I've like hated it. And I was like, damn, this is the first Sam pick where I'm like, I'm sorry, bro. I feel so bad, but
I
I do
can't
not like
think
this movie.
of I know you've had movies that I didn't like Plowman's Lunch, but like I can't think of a single one that I like
It's Plowman's
hated
Lunch is not
on
the same.
this
It's like
level.
that had merit. We had like points where we were like, this didn't have like I was like, damn it.
Even Interstate 60, which was a god
Damn
awful
it.
movie, was like a lot of like entertaining and a lot of fun to talk about. Like that's one of my favorite memories of the podcast is us talking about that movie and just me watching it and shit. As bad as it was, but fuck, this is like literally in the top three worst all time for me now. God damn, this was awful. I mean, god damn, I hated this so
I feel
fucking
good
much.
though that I picked it because I got it out of my system, and I had been wanting to watch this movie for like 2 months for the podcast, and I'm like, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna wait, I'm gonna wait, and
Yeah,
then
I mean, yeah, the only other one I can
It's
see is
funny. You and I had similar issues and not issues, but like moments where you're like, what do I pick? Fuck it. I'll just pick the thing I've been like holding on to, I guess.
Mhm.
and then we had complete different reactions to each.
Yeah.
Both musicals.
And I honestly expected to like Head more than I liked Tender Mercies when I came in too. I was like, Head's probably going to be more interesting.
On paper,
Nope.
Head is like me and your, at least Matt's wheelhouse in terms of trippiness and like just obscure kind of like what's going on.
I swear. That's why I was like, maybe if I was tripping or something, I might have
That's why
enjoyed
I
it
was.
more. And,
That was why I was so
relaxed,
convinced that I was going
but
to
I
have
was
to fight you
not.
guys, because last week you were saying like about one battle after another, like Jackson, you just don't like this because you don't do drugs or drink Modelo's while you're driving. And I thought it was going to be that same kind of vibe this week. Just like, if you were tripping, you'd like this, and that's that's how we saw it.
Well,
but oh, they didn't even like this one. Wow.
I'm not gonna lie. I was refer. I was telling one of my coworkers. I was like, you need to see one battle after another, and I realized he's like 19, 20, and I went, oh man, you don't know what it's like to smoke weed and have a fucking terrible call hit you, and then also have a situation where you're just shoved into somebody's car and hit with a few small beers. Yeah. You don't get those. Like those situations are real life situations. And I was like, you might not understand this. You might hate it. And I was like, shit, I might not recommend this to you now. But I'm like, because Jackson, I feel the same way. I was like, shit. I feel like eventually you'll have one of those days where you're just a few small beers in a car and you're like, and somebody's like, let's get a selfie.
Yeah, I get it now.
Good.
I love that.
On that day, I'll be like,
okay,
sorry,
seeing it last night.
Just hold up that one thing that's in your hand and you're just like,
and then we get
that's also
and I'm getting
that's
arrested
a vape.
by the
it's
cops.
not it's not the thing that he has. I know the thing that he has is a tracker, but it's a vape.
That part killed me. I love that.
All right, let's get this over. Yeah, he goes, let's go to work. Let's go to work.
I love throw out some trash.
And also, I just get it because, like, yeah, it's fucking Leo is the one he threw out. It's hilarious. It's like,
yeah,
Leo is trash.
If I ever have that experience,
and also somebody was
in that movie better. But yeah, that I was very worried this was going to be.
When I was watching it the other night, I was like, I swear to God, this shit is so funny.
Emphatically, though, we are 2 for 3 this week.
Emphatically 2 for 3.
Some would say In the Mood for Love is almost so good it would be 2.5 for 3, but we can't do that. We can't break our rating system just because we love a movie so much.
But one would say that Head is so bad that it can't possibly it cancels out the 0.5. And just like Alan Garfield said in The Stuntman, if you want bad Head, go to fucking, what did he say? Go to Thailand and whatever. I can't remember the line, but I had to go to Thailand and she had a stuffed alligator.
Oh no, I can finish it for you. You go to Thailand and you meet Amy Lou Wood.
Ah, still haven't watched that.
Amy Lou's on my wood. But yes,
not with those teeth. You don't. I'm sorry.
It's just big teeth.
Next week.
Yeah.
We are coming to the biggest moment of this whole season.
Hold on. I want Matt to say it because he has gotten it wrong 7 weeks in a row, and I want him to finally be right when he says it.
Yes. We're finally on the season finale of season 2, god damn it.
Woo!
Finally.
Week. Yes.
You're about to see a very dark side of Samuel.
After 3 weeks of me thinking that like 52 was going to make sense to everything. No, it's 54. I was 2 off every fucking week.
Every week.
For the last 7 weeks in a row.
And you know what? I used to think somebody else's math was wrong. I realized that's my math that's wrong. Because 27 times 2 is 54.
Yeah, Stand and Deliver didn't teach you
in a year. No, no, it didn't. No, no, it didn't. But 52 weeks is in a year, so that's why I got confused.
But it's 27 episodes a season.
Yeah, that's the issue. Okay, so we were 27 episodes, but then I was like, oh, we're at a year, so it's 52, and I don't know.
And we're also
I'm starting to think we maybe should have capped the seasons.
Yeah.
So that's where I think maybe we should have capped it at 22 and a half. I don't know how that works, actually.
You need to go back to Mr. Escalante's class.
21 and a half.
We should have rethought we should rethink the season count here, okay? I'm calling for a vote recount, a Trump recount on the season number episodes.
We'll see.
I'm calling a recount.
I don't know if that's gonna happen, but we'll talk about it. But I want everybody in the audience.
Hey, you know what? We didn't think Trump getting reelected was going to happen,
Good
but
point.
it did.
You never
Sorry,
know.
sorry.
Anything
I don't know where I'm
anything can happen. But I just want the audience to take one last good look at me, because this is the last time you will see me alive on this podcast. By this time next week, I will be dead, as a matter of fact.
Or you'll be in prison for the murder of Matthew Patterson and Samuel.
One of the two. Yeah, Matt is going to come in exactly like that with the Law and Order theme playing.
Oh, dun 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 dun.
Yep.
I swear to God, I'm part of me is tempted to dress up as Cat in the Hat.
Nope, Matt. If you don't
get
up
me
like Cat in the Hat,
I'm
then me and
tempted to like
Jackson's
full
bit
on
is
make
not worth it.
No, we've already talked about it, Matt. We've already talked about it. Sam has a thing 1 and thing 2 costume that the two of us can wear. Yeah. So you got to do it.
Then
you got to do it.
I got a week left for this shit, don't I?
Yeah, you got to figure it out. Go to Spirit
You got a week
Halloween.
left,
They have
right?
the whole costume in Spirit Halloween.
Okay, good. You're gonna have to give me like a week.
Hey, okay.
We're gonna have to do like next Tuesday. Because I will dress the fuck up as Cat. Do not tempt me. Hey.
Oh God, I'm fucked next week.
It's funny though. The only movie I've
Rhode
seen
Island plates. You don't see those often. Sorry, I'm just quoting them.
I haven't seen Cat in the Hat, so I don't know anything that's gonna happen.
Well, let's close this one out.
I still haven't actually seen the box. I'm not gonna lie.
Yes, we will see you next week for the finale of season 2.
Can't
More
believe
3
we're
movies.
there.
More
We're
3
there.
people.
Yeah, once again, another battle. This one's Jackson's battle.
Ooh,
This
it
is the
will
third
be
battle.
one battle after another for me next week. Oh boy.
And I think once we start season 3, the battles are over, and we're looking at the meadows of Sound of Music.
Let's hope.
We're looking at the green pastures and the blue skies of the Von Trapps.
Is this your
In season 3, we're gonna be patriotic, and we're gonna love everything everyone does.
This is your Anne Frank parody where instead of Christoph Waltz in Inglourious Bastards, it's played by Rob Lowe. And Rob Lowe is the Nazi at the beginning, is like, you're hiding him under the floor. It's a bingo.
Watching Rob Lowe play that part would be very interesting. Oh, because of the floor, you son of a bitch. I get it now.
I was gonna say the French dad's like I don't even remember what the fuck I was gonna say. I was gonna say, who sent you? And Rob Lowe just looks at him really serious and just goes, POTUS.
Bye, everybody.
Yeah, have a great day. It's been a 3.
And he goes,
3.
Who's that? President of the United States. Walks out. 3 for 3. I'm lagging as fuck. I'm behind.
It's A-okay, Matt.